Hey Kelly, do you remember that movie about a little kid who wished he could look like an adult so that he could convince his parents he was kidnapped by a and have sex with a middle-aged executive?
This is
You
Game of
know, the
Thrones.
the, the popular family film Big that
Oh,
Tom Hanks was nominated for an Academy Award for.
yeah, I
Well,
remember. I remember that.
I didn't remember it that way until I rewatched it about a year ago with my nephews, and I was like, huh, I hope there's no questions after this. Not that I'm prudish, but like 80s movies were a lot different than they
Yeah,
are.
yeah. There's a lot of latitude. A lot of latitude.
The best, and just not to get off topic here, but Ladybugs. Go watch that movie with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Children's film. Anyway, so the fortune telling machine that he uses in that has now been turned into a mini tabletop version that you can purchase in a 1/6 scale. Where are
From
you
New
having
Wave.
fortune telling machines, sir?
Yeah, from New Wave Games. So, maker of many smaller miniaturized devices. And so, I'm sorry. Your question was,
Where are you at on fortune telling machines?
um, not a passion point. Not
No?
not. You know, I think as you continue to work down your list, obviously I have consistently and shall I say very unsuccessfully, disappointingly so, continue to explain the old time movie photo booth section is the key to your arcade. But you continue to passively resist that fine suggestion. I would think the fortune telling booth is well below that at any scale would be my
That's fair.
position. You big fortune telling machine guy?
No. So I had seen the original machine that this was based on. So the one in the movie, and I've seen this kind of a couple people have posted videos about this, and they've kind of misquoted it a little bit. The one in the movie isn't a real fortune telling machine. It's a just slightly skirting copyright protection version of it. It's the knockoff Wish version of it. So one was Zoltan and one was Zoltar. So this is the one from the movie, just so everybody knows, which was in fact turned into a fortune telling machine after the movie. So it's kind of a weird. The knockoff became the real thing in most people's minds. I do think this is pretty interesting though, especially because I am going to be getting these kind of mini arcades have never, I think they look cool, but have never been something I've really considered up until this point because I've been going for the regular full arcade size. But because of, the difficult times that we're in and I can't expand the game room just yet, I am getting the Evercade Alpha as my first bar top to keep the game room going and keep with that aesthetic. So it did cross my mind that this might look cool next to that, but another bar top would look cooler next to that. So I think I'm saving the space for that. But I do think this is interesting, and it even spits out little fortunes.
Yeah, that are attached. So there's like a spool you can load in where it'll spit out the fortunes that you could tear off, I guess, if you wanted to have the full experience. But at some point, you're going to run out of fortunes at some point with that. I mean, it's nice looking. It's got an attract mode that will have him start to talk to you. It does like an infrared thing or whatever to kind of flag, hey, there's motion in front of me, and so it'll kind of beckon you on in attract mode to do it. Of course, the key is that it does accept little tiny currency that you can put a coin in it to do that. Those are provided. Um, 1/6 scale looks very well done. Lights up. It looks, in terms of as a little mini, it looks pretty good. Uh, $150 for for it. I would have been interested, uh, maybe, at about a third of that price. But that's probably where my interest absolutely tapers off to even kind of be looking at it. But you're at least entertaining it, huh?
I mean, no, like, it's a no for me. It's definitely a
Yeah.
pass, but it did for a second. I was like, this could be pretty cool. But honestly, it would have to be larger to justify it for me. And that's really where it comes down to I don't have anything that's like a 1/6 scale. So it wouldn't make sense in the game room. And I really don't want to like it'd be cool to have people come in and get fortunes and stuff like that. But then do I have to buy new spools of these things? Like, it just seems like it's going to end up costing more money. If this was a full size fortune teller or even a larger size, like something that was more of like a bar top arcade kind of thing, I could maybe justify this, even at a slight, if it was larger at a slightly higher price point than this, but $150 for the 1/6 scale. And the thing is, that's probably a fair price considering it's this little animatronic guy. It seems like a nice build. It spits out the tickets and all that kind of stuff. That's probably not a bad price. Similar to the photo booth. When we were talking about the Kodak photo booth that Arcade One Up did, that probably wasn't a terrible price when you consider it's a photo printer and an oversized tablet essentially with a decent camera on it. Separately, those probably add up to that, but I can't justify that price for the thing that it is. So it's going to be a pass for me, but I did entertain it for a minute.
Yep. So for those of you keeping track of our skip it, list it, buy it thing, Mike's a skip it, and I'm a skip it on this one. So that's true. However, I might be able to get you to move on that a little bit. Is that once you run out of fortunes, that now positions you uh, to come up with your own fortunes, which I think would be
Okay,
fascinating for guests to have
that's that
the
could be a lot more
the
interesting. We might
doc,
start there, not
Dr.
just
Mike
run out of the
fortunes. Yeah.
official ones.
Yeah. It would be that would be, I would never put a fake coin in that to get one of those because I think they would be
I mean, what
staggering.
if Elizabeth Perkins was at the end of that tunnel,
And you're not talking in code there, I assume. So the yeah, it I think no. I mean
though? No,
no, no.
Elizabeth Perkins was the actress from Big. For anybody who hasn't seen that movie,
Yeah. Yeah. Not well, see, I can't I've learned not to express my opinion on some things because I get accused of shaming people or whatever, but never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Anyway,
well,
anywho,
you have to say it now. You owe it to the Panda Army.
okay. Not a looker, my opinion.
Wow, really?
Not a fan. Yep. So
Plus, I don't body shame women.
yeah, I know. That's it. You just call our listeners maniacs. I think is what you
Listen, if you play GoldenEye with two separate controllers, or Star Wars Pod Racer with two separate controllers for fun, you're a maniac. There's something wrong with, and it's okay. You've obviously you found your people, you found your place here. And that's why you should like and subscribe while you're here.
yeah, yeah. So you can get more affirmations from Mike. And then maybe we'll put some of those affirmations on a t-shirt and you can find those in our merch store, the Euromaniac t-shirt or whatever. And you've got that subscription, you've got your gear, then you just need to kind of grab a seat and go to that podcast, Hard No, the world's shortest podcast, which has probably by the time this video comes out, you'll begin to see been some renovations to Hard No. So even though it's a podcast, there's been some visual improvements to it for those of you who want to buck the trend on a podcast and actually watch the video on YouTube. So little
Lots of male nudity.
hmm?
Lots of male nudity.
No, not exactly. But anyway, so
He
it's a
didn't say
skip it.
no. He said not exactly.
Yeah, not exactly, but you know. Um, anyway, yeah, thanks for listening, folks. Let us know if we're wrong. We're thinking this is a skip. If you feel differently, let us know. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Dog, Panda.